Let's have a look at the whole patch at first. We have three voices. One from the VCO, from VCV-Rack, and two from Basel, with different adjustments of the sound, of course. And the ADSRs belonging to all three voices, or to each of these three voices. The ADSR adjustments are also a little bit different. Otherwise, the system is always the same: VCA, ADSR, and VCO, and only the first voice here, the stereo one here above in the mixer, is patched through the reverb unit, reverb module plateau. All three voices are driven by the same LFO quantizer combination. You see all three patch cables go to or come from the quantizer. Here above we have trigs, the sequencer, normally used for drum sequences, for triggering drum sequences, but I like it better this way. Well, I've already set three sequences. Sequence number 4 I leave alone, I don't use it. Each sequence has a certain color, and the color is the same like the color of the outputs here. Okay, well, I can change the sequence. I can, the pattern by simply by clicking. Now I have deleted this, and instead I set it here. Yeah, but let me remove it again and go back to the original place. So it's not about regular sequences, regular patterns, but it's about randomness. And so here I have the random knob, meaning I can set a certain amount of randomness. As I explained, blah blah blah, as I explained in the book, the amount of randomness here doesn't mean more or less near the existing trigger points, but simply sets the amount of trigger points in the sequence. All right, so let me go to, let's say, 19% about, and now pushing this button I change the pattern randomly. It patterns randomly. And again pushing, and again pushing, and so on. And this pushing I can, of course, do automatically or automate by using an LFO, the square wave of an LFO, for example. And I take this LFO, which so far was not part of the patch, take this square wave and put it into this random jack. And then, according to the frequency of this LFO, the pattern changes from time to time, without me doing anything. And I can increase the frequency of changing the patterns, of course. And of course I can synchronize both LFOs. For example, I can say that here this LFO runs at 1.6 hertz, and when I want, and we have a step length of 616. So when I say I take this frequency of, let's say, 0.16, then I have even a certain pattern of changing the frequencies, not the frequencies, the pattern. When I say, for example, 0.1, then The pattern should change always at the same point in the sequence, always at the same step in the sequence, always after 16 steps. Yeah, it's always changing here. I can synchronize even the phase of the two LFOs so that it changes always at the beginning or at the end of the pattern or something like that. Okay, but I can do it, this end of pattern change, I can do more simple and easier using the EOC, the end of pattern output. Yeah, and now it changes always at the beginning or at the end, or rather, as I see it, at the beginning of a pattern. Yeah, you see the end of EOC output. All right. Well, and then I can experiment again with different frequencies, not only of the clock and the pattern change LFO, but also, of course, the LFO driving the sound, driving the sequence that we hear, this triangle one, from which we get different parts from each voice, because the ADSR, or because the ADSR makes the 3 VCAs open at different steps according to what my pattern here tells them to do.